Welcome to the channel. This is Holden from Classroom Camp, and today I want to highlight a teacher who spent $2,000 and endless amounts of time this summer preparing and decorating her classroom for the 2025-2026 school year. Now look, $2,000 is a ton of money. I don't care how much money you make or what your salary is. That's a lot of money, and who knows the amount of time it took, but it's a lot, and we're going to dive into this. So let's go ahead and look at this article. This is on people.com. The headline reads, "Teacher spent $2,000 and months preparing her classroom. What her students walked into left them speechless." Speechless. Now, look, I can imagine. It says here that Bianca Pessina, I guess that's how you pronounce it, is going into her 5th year as an educator. And I mean, honestly, 5th year, that's still pretty early in the realm of educators. And that's not to say that that diminishes her in any way of an educator, but I think like a lot of veteran teachers, like they've probably already done something like this and they kind of like are like, yeah, blah blah blah. I think like when you're early in your education career, you're like really excited and you want to do these like amazing things and you're willing to spend more money and all this. And so but great on her. So let's take a look. It says here, Bianca Pessina has always found joy in decorating. Growing up in San Benito, Texas, she helped her mom spruce up classrooms at the daycare her mom owned, a formative experience that sparked her creativity from a young age. So when Pessina began her teaching career 4 years ago, she knew she wanted her classroom to feel unique, inviting, and inspiring. Now entering her 5th year as a 4th grade reading teacher, Pessina says transforming her classroom has become second nature. "I can walk into an empty room and immediately picture it fully decorated," she tells People exclusively. And here is a picture of her. She looks pretty young. And I guess you can see here in her classroom is in the background. It says this year, the 26-year-old, chose the emotional roller coaster theme from Schoolgirl Style, decorating with soft pastel colors, cheerful smiley faces, and playful pencil motifs. "I love incorporating smiley faces and pencils into the theme," Pessina says. "Even on the toughest days, seeing a smiley face reminds me that everything is going to be okay." Here's another picture of her classroom. I really like this chair. I love when teachers have these decorations. The only concern, honestly, that I would have is like, students, unless you just have the best classroom management, students break things, so you got to have a tight leash on your students and make sure you got your routines and procedures and expectations and all that stuff down, because when you got a classroom looking like this, you never know what could happen. And if something breaks, something falls off the wall, like this lit up smiley face, that could be potentially devastating. That could ruin your day. One time I had a candle warmer in my classroom. It was allowed, and so I had my candle warmer, and it was kind of like it was in a good, I would say, reasonable location, but a student was sharpening a pencil, and there was a pencil sharpener somewhere nearby, and they knocked it off of this one thing, and it fell down on another thing and broke the candle warmer and got candle wax everywhere, which once it dries is like extremely difficult to clean up. It was a whole deal. So you got to be careful with these kinds of things, but it still looks great, at least while it lasts. Now, there is a link in this article to her TikTok, and I just want to take a look at some of these videos that she posted here. So let's see if we can get a little more, let's see what else she's doing here. So she's kind of documented her journey, it looks like. I haven't watched any of these videos, by the way, but these are pinned, so we're going to go ahead and check this one out. So let's see.
Hey friends, welcome to day 1 of setting up my classroom. Now before I go any further, I do want to let you all know that I did not get a lot of it on video because I was just trying to go as fast as I could so I can get as much done today as possible. My principal was nice enough to let me come a little bit earlier and set up for my classroom. They usually don't start setting up until later, but because I'm going to be out of town, I get your teacher on next week. He said it was fine that I came in and start doing it now, which is so nice of him.
Okay, I'm gonna kind of skip through some of this. You know, one thing I will say that I found pretty interesting, you know, if you're going to decorate your classroom the way that she did, you got to have access to a truck. Now, I don't have access to a truck, so, you know, bringing furniture up to my classroom was kind of like not an option. But, you know, that's something to consider. And, you know, it's good that she had a truck to load that. It looked like a vanity or dresser or desk, I guess, that she took over there. Um, but yeah, you know, just not possible in my situation.
And do all the ideas in my head of how I wanted to think. I'm used to it. But this was my day one. I really don't know how I got so much done in such little time. But I had extra hands to help me, like my husband, my mom,
Anchor charts wall. I liked that.
So I was so grateful that they would come in here to help me. But yeah, follow along so you can see how the rest of it turns out. Again, it's going to get worse before it gets any better, but stick around for day 2 tomorrow. Bye! Hey friends, welcome to day.
Okay, so she's got a lot of colorful stuff in there, as you can see in this video. Lots of lights. It looks like a little pinata thing on the wall over there. A locker. I mean, where do you get all this furniture? Like, that's my question. You gotta like go to one of those like flea markets or something like that, you know, and try to find like really cool stuff. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool stuff in here. What is that in the corner? Looks like a photo booth. Like you could walk inside or something. I don't know. If anyone knows, let me know down in the comment section. What is that? Over there. I'm trying to look. It says it's like just this hanging thing. Yeah, I don't know what that is. Maybe it's like a picture. You know, my one thing about like decorations, and I mean this is just from a male perspective, so you know, like I don't like to put things in my room if they don't have a practical use. I think in the past I did, I never did anything like this, but I liked to, you know, put some decorations in my class. But at this point, I'm kind of like, you know, the less I have, the better, because at some point you're going to have to clean all this out. And it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time. And I personally, I don't want to do that because I got better things, other things that I would like to spend my time on. But yeah, you know, it's a lot of work, a lot of work. And as the article pointed out, countless hours, you know, doing this. So yeah, you know, if you have the time, then go ahead. Let's take a look at this other video because hopefully this shows more of the classroom. Ooh, what does that thing do? It's a light. Okay. She's got a lot of stuff on her desk. What are those? Okay. She's organized. All right, the date. Our lesson plans all set up. This is 5th grade? 5th grade? This seems like a little too kiddie for 5th grade, honestly. This is like, you know, it looks like a elementary or kindergarten classroom. A small criticism. You know, if I was like I'd be like, you know, I'm not, you know, it's not manly enough for me. I mean, look. You got some boys in there that are like, you know, walking into a little girl's bedroom or something is what it looks like. Got the Chromebooks labeled. Good. I'm all for that. Let's skip on ahead. All these pencils. Great. Okay. I see. So the locker has a purpose. It's not just in there. You kept your stuff in there. Wow. She is decked out. I think she's like all about decorations. Maybe she is like going for teacher of the year status with all that. You know, she had like the shirt with the pencils on it, and then like the mug with like all the teach stuff. I mean, it's cool. It's cool. You wouldn't see me doing anything like this. You definitely wouldn't see me spending $2,000 on decorations. You know, I was surprised this year because in the past, the school that I was at previously, they gave us a $200 stipend for school supplies. The school that I'm at now does not give a stipend for school supplies. So I'm kind of on my own, but they do say that like if teachers need anything, then they will order and try to get us supplies. So, you know, I haven't gone through that process yet personally. Fortunately, I had a lot of stuff left over from previous years and I had students bring me things. So it's not an issue. And students are held accountable for their own supplies here at this new school as well. So it's not like I just need to provide a ton of things for students. But yeah, you know, you wouldn't see me doing anything like this. It's great on her. It looks great on TikTok. You know, I poke fun at like the TikTok teachers because, you know, this is the kind of thing I do. And if you take anything from this video, take this because I see these kinds of things and I know that like before I became a teacher, I was aware of these types of decoration, you know, these types of classrooms. Actually, my ex-wife was a teacher as well. And, you know, so I had experienced substitute teaching and I saw what she did with her classroom and I saw just her friends' classrooms and in those types of environments. And it's like going into education, when I was, you know, first going to become a teacher, I kind of felt like pressure to do these kinds of things, to create elaborate setups and decorate your classroom in these ways and, you know, put a lot of time and effort into it. And that's the mindset that I had, but you don't have to do that. And I want this message to be for all teachers, but especially new teachers. You don't have to decorate your classroom like this. You don't have to spend your own money doing what this teacher did. I mean, it's great. If I had unlimited money and I could buy all these decorations or just hire someone, an interior decorator, to come in and just do my classroom for me. Like, yeah, I would do this. I would totally do this. It's just, if only just to say that I had done it. And it would be a lot of fun. And I'm sure my students would love it. They would think like, oh, this is like the cool decorated classroom. It would stand out and it would be great. But I don't have that. And new teachers, you don't have to feel pressured. You're going to see people who want to do, decorate their classroom and go all out and spend money and all the time that they have, you know, after school, before school, on weekends. Don't feel pressured into that. Just do what you can do. But don't let this make you afraid or feel inferior in any way, because you have, I would say for any new teacher, focus on teaching itself and making a difference in the lives of students. You know, don't focus on the surface level things. And I do think this is very surface level. However, good on this teacher. I mean, it's nice to see people who take pride in their craft, like they are interested in this, and this is what she wanted to do. And so, hey, and it looks awesome, really. And that's why I wanted to make this video. One, to tell you that, hey, you don't necessarily have to do this, and two, to highlight this teacher and what she has done, because it is nice to see teachers out there who seemingly are very, very into teaching and want to try out new things and put that on display and kind of highlight the positive attitude and attributes of the teaching profession, because I do think it takes someone with certain qualities on the inside and a certain dedication to go up to school, spend all this money, spend all this time doing this. And so I applaud her in that respect. But that's all I have to say in this video. And my question now to you is, what do you think about this? Have you ever decorated your classroom to such an extent? Let me know down in the comment section. Also, remember to hit the like button, subscribe, share, all the buttons. Thank you for watching. That's all I have for you in this video. See you in the next one.